Good evening, everyone, or good afternoon. Really, it's 5:30. Hope everyone is doing well. If you can if you're watching now, just hit the like button. Obviously, subscribe if you haven't already, and leave a comment in the comment section. I've put a poll up on here on the left hand side. First time I've done this, guys. So let me know how it works and whether you can press on it. I'm not sure whether you can press on it, but it's a new thing on this StreamYard. Okay, so I went to the game. It's ended Derby County 1, Birmingham City 0. Yeah, just fucking. Do you know what? I'm just going to share my screen straight away, and I want to talk about this lineup. Stu will be joining me shortly. It is 5:30, so hopefully he'll be on in any moment now. Okay, look, I've been calling for changes. What I want to see from Chris Davis in these last 8 games. I wanted to see a formation change, and a different way of playing. When the lineup came out, I was actually sort of just getting into Derby at that time, and I was a little bit surprised. I thought it was going to be a very similar formation. I thought Panzo would be left back, or Robinson would be left back, and we'd have Clara and Robinson, and Ethan Laird would go back into his normal spot as right back. And we'd have Pike and Water in the middle, Damari Gray out wide left, or wide right, and Osman left. And I thought that's a little bit of a change. And Deutsch and Stansfield in the usual positions through the centre. And when they kicked off, I was looking and I was thinking, what's going on now? Okay, so we've gone to a back three. Clara right at the back three, Robinson in the centre, Panzo out left, and then I looked at Osman left wing back, and he just looked absolutely shook from minute one. I was standing with Dave, and I said, "Look at Osman. He don't know what he's doing. He was like a rabbit caught in headlights all over the shop." Then we had Ethan Laird was right wing back, but the wing backs I noticed. I'm talking the first 10 minutes now were very. It was almost like the back five, if you like. They kept attacking down his right hand side. They had Paking in Water in the middle. Just useless again, really deep. We couldn't. Sorry, let me just go through the team first. Paking in Water in the 60s. We had Stansfield. Out on the left, Deutsch in the middle, and Damari Gray out on the right, just in front of Ethan Laird, but not a lot more in front. And they lined up in a 4-2-3-1, and we just couldn't get out our own half. It was fucking wild. This front line of Gray, Deutsch, and Stansfield was so low. There was no pressing going on. We couldn't pass a ball. It was just mad to watch, And I've seen some. Let's just talk about the first half first. I've seen some real bad Blues performances, in the flesh and on TV. And that was got to be one of the worst performances I've seen that first half. I mean, the whole game wasn't great, but the first half was just shocking. We couldn't, like I said, couldn't spring the fucking pass together. One sec, let me just see. Yes, Stu's here. So let me just get Stu on a minute, and then we will let me just go back to what I was talking about. So yeah, it was just a nightmare. I mean, if you look at the match momentum here, guys, it was all Derby first half. And then I was thinking, right, he's got to change it. He's got to change, even if he goes back to the 4-2-3-1, right? He's got to go back to that because we just look fucking lost at sea, man. And he comes out with no changes, if I remember correctly. Remember, guys, they've only just got back in the house. I'm sure he didn't make any changes at half time. Let's just double check here on the left.
Same team.
No, he didn't. No. So he came out in the same formation. He gave them 10 minutes, and it was exactly the same as the first half. If you look here on the match momentum, and then he made changes. And I'm not going to go through all the changes because I couldn't keep up with it. It was wild. So Vicente come on for Osman. Doyle came on for Laird. Solis for Deutsch. I thought Solis ran around and kind of looked enthusiastic as the others just looked like. You know, that he sat saying it, they looked like they was on the beach. And then I don't know what he done then. I don't know what he done. There was players all over the shop. I don't know where they was playing. I kind of lost. I lost interest. I lost like couldn't keep track of who was playing where. You know, anyone watched it on TV, and I'm going to stop sharing that now. Maybe you did, Stu. Has he lost his finger there? Let me just. Yeah, so I just don't know, man. I don't know what he was doing. I think he lost his mind, guys. I really do think he lost his fucking mind. Do you know what I mean? I'm going to get into some comments to start actually while we wait for people to come on, and I will put the link as well. Let me just invite guests. If you want to come on, guys, and have your say. Oh, so the poll's working, so that's good. Wicked, man. It's a new thing on StreamYard, that is. Let me paste that in. Okay, so if you want to come on, Stu's in there. So, Stu, I don't know if you heard what I was saying then, but that was kind of what I seen from in the ground. And is there anything you
I heard bits of it, mate. But yeah, I've been having a blues, mate. I've been having a mare with like, because when I click the link, you're only small, so I'm trying to get a bit. But never mind. Yeah. Well, I don't know. Go on, quickly summarise what shit. They looked lackluster.
Yeah, I mean, what did you make of the fucking lineup first and foremost, Stu? Because like, obviously you've only just come in, didn't hear what I said then. Like, I've been calling for, a change in formation, and a change in formation. Let's see something a little bit different. But what was he doing there?
Well, yeah, mate. I think we asked for a change of formation. We get one, and then we're scratching our heads, thinking, "What the fucking hell is that?" I don't know, mate. I'm just like, what? Change of formation. But yeah, what was that? As you're probably going to get people saying, why don't we go 4-4-2 and or even just stick to the same, because at least they know what the hell they're doing.
Yeah.
But mate, they didn't look as if they had a clue, did they? And I seen CD's post match, and he said, look, summarising it really, they've kind of had a week to work on stuff and everything else, and he's basically saying it didn't happen on the pitch. What they've worked on, what they've talked about, what they've trained about, and everything else just didn't materialise on the pitch. So whose fault's that? Is it the players? Is it the managers? What, mate? I don't know. But
yeah, like that's. I mean, ultimately, it comes down to the manager. It will come down to the manager ultimately, but the players have got to hold some accountability for that performance. And a few of these performances in the last 5-6 games, Stu. What did you make of certain individuals or the players as a whole today?
I don't, mate. For me, it's the performances, isn't it? And I just keep on thinking like static, no movement, no runs, and they look bereft of ideas. They look, I don't know. I've heard like overcoached being spated an awful lot again. Like post this match and that, and it's just it's the same old, isn't it, mate? What's going on like these past few games? You tell me, who was there as well? Like,
yeah.
I mean,
I just couldn't get my fucking hat on, mate. Like I said, I've watched some terrible performances over the time going to the Blues. In the flesh and on TV. I think that first 45 minutes of the second half wasn't so bad, but it was still shocking. But that first 45 minutes was up there with the worst I've seen.
I mean, it ended, and the possession was. They slightly nudged it. I think they had about 52%, and we had like a little bit less. But in the first half, mate, we had 30% possession, something like that. It was woeful.
Yeah,
it was woeful. They come out the blocks like they wanted it, like as we've kind of said before, you know, the managers had like a team talk with them, got them riled up for it. They've got like a solid game plan of like get in, have a good start, try and like get at us, unsettle us, don't let us play. Like every team's doing, and it's just too easy, and we don't seem to want to stand up, mate, to it.
Yeah. Right, Blue Shadow, I'll bring you on in a bit, Bob. I'm just going to go through a few comments with Stu. John Wheeler saying, got to say, didn't really expect to get anything today, but it did prove that they can't play a different way and can understand his thinking beyond. And I can't understand the thinking behind his subs. Yeah, I think he just lost the plot in the end, John. Like, in fact, I've got a few comments up. I bookmarked. I've got the goal what I've bookmarked, and I've got a little clip of Chris Davis's post match. So we'll look at that as well in a bit, guys. I'm just going to go through a few more comments, and then we'll get Blue Shadow on. Yeah, Robbie, man, like sacking Eustace has cost us 4 years. I don't know whether anyone noticed what Eustace said after in his post match. Yeah, man, no fair football. Do you know what? Like, fair play to me. Fair fucking play to me. Yeah. You know, like that might roll people up and stuff. But
no, mate, like fair play to him. You know, they beat us fair and square, mate. That was a much better team today. We were shit.
Yeah. Dean Ravenshill, Bill had his bird watching. We'll see. There were plenty of blue tits out there today. Yeah. Evening, gent, shocking performance all round, like 10 men today. We need to be starting Roberts and what's the score with Newman? Yeah, I had this conversation on the way back, actually. So, like, we mentioned it a few weeks ago about we beat QPR and Newman never come on, never got an appearance, you know, never got brought on a sub or anything. And Davis was running around the pitch fucking, you know, hugging all the players and everything. And what happened was he's gone to hug Newman and Newman turned his back on him. How Newman never got a start or got brought onto that, you know, it just speaks volumes, I think. So there's definitely been a fallout with Newman. It wouldn't surprise me if he's fell out with a few of them. Roberts, I don't know. Roberts was on the bench, was he, Stu?
Yeah.
I don't know why Roberts didn't get a look in either. And the same goes, you know, the same old crap with Allsop as well. Like, why he doesn't start. I don't know. Yeah, Trev Blues are flaccid and have got a tiny pair of balls. Long live John Eustace. Long live the King. It's come back to autumn, mate. Unfortunately. You know what I mean? Like, fucking, you know, fair play for pulling the trigger on Gary Cook. And I remember I used to get pelters, man, for not liking Gary Cook. And this was before he sacked Eustace. I didn't like Gary Cook. There's something about him I didn't like. I thought he was sleazy. I didn't like the way he put himself across, and then he sacked Eustace, and then the way he introduced Rooney, and it's someone mentioned it, man. It's put us back years. You're right, Peter. How are you, mate? Awful today, mate. Awful. Yeah, man. Carol's saying their goalkeeper could have read a book. He must have been so bored. Joke business. You're right, Brumizano. How are you, mate? Good to see you. Good evening. Good afternoon, lads. This is why I've been CD out since Cover Way. Yeah, I put a finger up. There it's up. So the Polly's guys, Chris Davis to be sacked now before the next game. And it's 50-50 at the moment. So you can either press yes, no, or not sure. Let's bring Blue Shadow on. Let me just start that comment. How are you, Bob? You okay?
Hi, Nick. Hi, Stu. You all right?
Yeah, all good.
Yeah, abysmal, mate. I can't see it getting any better. Like I say, I'm never one for the manager out, but he's got to go. There's just no words anymore. His interviews are just pathetic. Same old shit constantly. You know, it's boring. And I think the only one that probably out of all the players that's, you know, had a good game is Stansfield, because he's all over the show.
Yeah.
But I think I'm just past frustrated, angry. I think there's just no more emotion left in me to, like, vent my anger, because, you're so used to it. You know what's coming before it even happens. So, yeah.
Do you know as well, like, oh, sorry, Stuart, just quickly, I thought, like, these kind of days were over, man. Do you know what I mean? I thought these kind of times were over, man. But go on, Stuart, sorry, mate.
I just want to ask Blue Shadow for her thoughts on Beadle conceding the goal, or like, yeah, what?
You know what? You know what, mate?
You're a fan.
Have you seen the goal, Blue Shadow?
No, I did. I didn't see the goal because I was dreading, like, watching it. But my take on it, I can't stand Beadle, and I understand. Most noses are say, it's Chris Davis' fault. He plays him every time, but it's getting beyond a joke now. He's taking Allsop. He's leaving him on the bench, or he can only play certain games, and then it's just, I just ain't got the energy to have a vent over it anymore, because Davis ain't going to change his mind on anything at the moment. He's stuck in the I know best phase, and yeah, it's just not working. And you know what, like, people go back to he got us up through League One. Fair enough, he did. He got something on his belt. Yeah, so many points. We won. We come up to the Championship, but people don't realise that League One and Championship is different. It's a different ball game altogether. And the Championship is not just one of the hardest to get out of, but it's so easy to go back down. And with a manager that just don't seem to give a shit anymore, it's beyond pathetic. And I'll probably get backlash, because I've been getting a bit of backlash to the fact that, like, I don't like Beadle, and it's kind of like everyone has an opinion, and we're not going to agree on everything. But I can't see why he just doesn't, like, change it up a bit, and he's just so stuck in his ways. It's just, yeah.
No, I think, and I'm on the same page. I think him continuing playing Beadle is resulting in him getting the sack. He's a big part of him getting in the sack. Just quickly before I let you go on the poll, Blue Shadow. So the poll was Chris Davis to be sacked now before the next game. What did you vote, if you don't mind me asking?
I'd sack him straight off. I'd tell him to pack his bags, go. But then again, you've got to look at the other parties. Who would you have in? Who would want to come to Birmingham at the moment? Because, you can have different managers come in, get them to play the style they want to play, but it's whether they want to. That's the question, you know what I mean? There's some players, they'll stick with the manager. But I don't know, And the way I bless Wagner, he's ill at the moment, you know what I mean? But I'm hoping he looks at this and looks at the whole thing and go, you know what? No, enough is enough.
Yeah. No, that's fair enough. Thanks for coming on, Bob. Always appreciate your support and your insight into the Blues and everything. So hopefully stay tuned and all the best. Hopefully I might see you against Wrexham. If you're going to Wrexham, Blue Shadow.
Yeah, I'll be at the Wrexham. I don't know about. I'm not sure about Blackburn at the moment. It's going to be one of them, whether I get down or not. Okay. But like I say, take the Blackburn game. They're going to be up for it, and it won't surprise me that if we lose that game as well. Yeah. I think we've lost our identity, mate. If I'm honest, you know what I mean. Teams see us for being weak, and we don't go for when we get the ball, you know what I mean, we don't even shoot. We tend to just pass it and it goes back to the goalie, and it frustrates. There's just so many things right now that Blues just don't seem don't seem on the ball with everything. And yeah, like I say, frustrations are boiling over. Fans ain't happy. Players on the pitch ain't happy. Silly tackles, red cards. You know, it all adds up in the end. And yeah, I mean, if we finish mid-table, we'll be lucky. You know what I mean? So yeah, and we're not, like I say, we're not good enough to go up. We've got. You look at that team sheet, and you look at the players we've signed, and you think, you know what, we should really be a Premiership top side, but we ain't, because we're just not ready, mate.
Yeah.
So,
No, some valid points there, Blue Shadow. So, like I say, thanks ever so much for coming on, and hopefully see you. It's after the international break now. I think it's on a Sunday, 12:30 kick-off. So hopefully I'll see you there, Babaka.
yeah, well, I was going to say that annoys me as well, that they've moved the, kick-off time. The early kick-offs is just a nightmare at the best of times, but
Yeah,
hopefully, hopefully something happens, and even if we do win a few games, I don't think it's going to change the way Blues fans are feeling at the moment. But yeah, I'm going to sign off, mate, and jump back onto the other part, and yeah. But,
yeah. Frustrated. Okay, lovely. Thanks ever so much, Blue Shadow. I'll speak to you soon, Babaka. Good
all right, yeah. Cheers, Nick. Bye, Stu. Bye.
Yeah, man, frustration. I think frustration there from Blue Shadow, and a lot of people really lost the dressing room. Okay, Pete, nice one, Pete. Thanks ever so much. If you want to help out the channel, guys, there's a super chat and a super thanks. So that's a way of helping out. Also, as well, while I mention it, if at the top of the comments section there's a link. If you hit that link and become a joined up member, I think it's $1.99 a month. There is perks with it, and I'll be giving these away. So the anniversary shirts, they will go to a joined up member, and I'll probably do it first game. I'll probably do it after the Wrexham game, first one. So there'll be every month. So that's, if you hit that link at the top of the comment section, it's $1.99 a month, and we do a spinner wheel. I mean, there's not that many members really. There's I think there's about 30. So yeah, man. Nice one, Pete. Thanks ever so much, mate. Blue Radley saying, I like CD as a bloke, but enough is enough. Time to go. He's killed the players' confidence, killed the atmosphere at St Andrews, and if he doesn't go, the season tickets will bomb for next season. You mentioned that, didn't you, Stu, last time?
Yeah, it's and I think we've already kind of seen a bit of it, mate, with the last couple of home games with the vacant seats and that. So it's a very valid point, I think. And like you said, I've kind of covered it a bit as well. It's kind of like what I kind of think.
Yeah.
They go on about the product on the pitch, don't they? And if it's not engaging, if people don't want to watch the product on the pitch, if it's frustrating for them and not entertaining, then they're going to start. You're going to lose some of the fan base again, aren't you? The ones who you've started getting back down over the League One and this campaign. You're going to start losing again, aren't you?
Yeah, definitely.
You'll always have the ones who will go down, but I think you are going to lose some.
Yeah, I think you might be right, mate. I think you might be right. Then I think of like, well, if we get a good manager, someone mentioned Thomas Frank. If we was to get a Thomas Franking in the summer, I think the season tickets still max out. Does that make sense? In fact, let's just quickly talk about the players. If a new manager was to come in, Stu, because I'm starting to think these players. I'm just going to be straight up, mate. I don't think these players are good enough. I'm talking Iwata's not good enough. I'm talking Pate's not good enough. Pate weren't great when the relegation season. He's probably best of a bad bunch, but he's not someone you want in that centre 2 6s in that 6th position. I don't think August Prisk. I don't know what August Prisk does. All he does for me, mate, and I know that he hasn't had. a lot of game time, but he just falls all over the fucking shop. Vicente played amazing the first game, and granted he hasn't been given a massive chance, and I'm on the fence with Vicente. Who else? Like, you know, Kai Wagner, granted his injury, we've seen a great 2-3 games from him, then his form dipped. You know, I could go through the whole team. Clara's started to dip. Fucking, you know, Stansfield, like 20, I don't know, 15, 20 million. I'm sorry, like, people might not like this. I think we've overpaid for him. I think it was something what the fans really wanted, and the owners thought, I'm going to please these fans, no matter what the price. And I think Fulham had our pants down, and people probably won't like that. I just don't think he's a great player. I don't, mate. I don't think he's a number 9 who's going to get us 20 goals a season. Thoughts on that, mate?
Oh, I think it's a mix. I think some of the players are good enough or could be good enough. I don't think they're getting a run in the team, and when they start to get a run in the team, then they're cut from the team. We've seen it with Kyogo when he scored those back-to-back goals in those games, and then cut, and you don't see him. Neumann, again, like, he's in the team, he's out the team. You know, he seems to, everyone says he seems to pick his favourites. You know, Paik, Iwata, there's other names as well that you can say, if they're fit or if they're not suspended or whatever, then they're on the sheet and they're getting game time.
Yeah.
And I think that that breeds a little bit of despondency within the camp, I think, as to, like, well, what's the point in me fucking playing or training well and this, that, and the other if I'm not going to get into the team on merit? Because I know that so-and-so is going to get the shirt given to him above me. Doesn't matter what I do in training, then that's going to happen. Stansfield, mate, I mean, for me, that's the conundrum, isn't it? You can't knock his work rate and ethic and everything else. And I think that's why, you know, we're so, like, in here down the Blues and we love him. But I don't think that he's being utilised in the right way. And this is it, mate. What we had in League One with the Stano and the May conundrum. What do you do with them? How do you shoehorn them both in the team?
Yeah.
And I think you're getting that again this year, mate. I really do. I don't like that season we went down. I thought Stano was electric. You know, you're like looking at him and you're thinking, yeah, definitely easy championship striker. You know, and yeah, will probably be gracing the Premier League. Now you're thinking, what's he doing? But is that down to the manager? Is it down to the players he's got around him? Is it down to how they're being told to play, what he's being told to do? Mate, they don't play to his strengths, and this is it within the team. If they don't play to each other's strengths and how the players do play, and why you brought them in for those reasons of playing, then what chance have they got, mate? You know, Vicente, like you say, a couple of great games, yeah, and now he's coming on as a sub.
Yeah,
you know, they're not getting the run in the team on merit as okay, you've earned that shirt, now play it until you don't warrant it anymore, or someone else is better than you in training, or comes on as a sub and gives a better performance than what you've given. But I don't know, mate. I just think there's just too many problems. I don't think Paik and Iwata are particularly bad players. Personally.
You know, when you've got Doyle on it, then.
Go on. I was just going to say about the Newcastle game, mate, and how they was. What's happened?
Fair point, yeah.
Go on. What was you going to say?
I was saying about, like, I mentioned this last week as well, about the 260s being so deep. They're not making runs into the box, you know, and it was fucking hell. No one made a run into the box. We didn't even get into their half in the first half. There was no press. I don't know what's happened to the press. We haven't seen the press for a while, and I know Stansfield does bring the press. And then you've got the likes of Solis and Doyle on the bench who can, you know, move a ball and move, you know, get further up the pitch. And we did see it in the second half. You know, we moved a bit more up the pitch, but. You know, Paikin again got 90 minutes, and I was talking to Dave about this. Paikin got 90 minutes again. They look shattered. I don't know what Water does. I don't know what he does, mate. Like, what does he do? Because he's not. He can't tackle. He can't pass a ball. He runs like a duck. I don't know what he does. And someone else made a good point about Deutsch as well. If Deutsch doesn't score a goal or gets an assist, he's non-existent. Do you know what I mean? Someone said about Gray as well. What's a crack with Gray? In fact, I'll bring Dave in on this, Stu, quickly, because Dave loves Gray. Dave, what's a crack with Gray, mate?
My Gray? Yeah. I don't know. He just like, it's gone to part, isn't it? I don't think they want to play for him. I think that's the bottom line. I think like we sort of came to a conclusion in the car that the players don't want to play for him because there's no way that those players would put out that sort of performance if they actually were playing for the manager. I think it was a bit of a disgrace today, to be honest. They got booed off. They got booed off at half time. And I just don't know, man. It's just, the season's ended. The season's gone. Forget about this season, right? I don't really want to go again, to be honest. But I can see myself. I want to go to the Blues, but I don't want to go this season. I will, but it's just so fucking boring, isn't it?
Glutton for punishment, Dave.
It's boring, man.
And this is what I was saying, mate. It's the product on the pitch. But here's one thing for you, right? So Duck scores that free kick last week, yeah, right? And hit the crossbar and the angle and whatever else. What about another 3 times? So we got that free kick today, right? Ducks is there. Damari Gray comes up, right? Why does Damari Gray get to take that free kick over Marvin?
Because he thinks he's the main man, doesn't he?
But who's making the decisions?
I don't know.
Who's making the decisions? Does Gray just come up and go, "Sorry, mate, I'm having this one," even though you scored from a free kick?
I can't give any answer to that, mate. I don't get it either. The crowd was a bit moody at the end. Proper moody, wasn't it?
For me, Marvin takes that free kick.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, that was brilliant.
Yeah.
There's so much to be like down about. I'm trying to think of some positives, to be honest. I can't really. I thought Laird played all right up until he got took off. It was just really bad. It was really bad.
But just quickly, why did you take Laird off? Because Laird was probably the only player what looked interested in. I mean, Laird didn't have a great game.
What's there, mate?
He moved him what there, didn't he? It's fucking nuts. Do you know when he brought Kyogo on at the end, Stu?
Yeah.
Like, they had a corner. He brought Kyogo on and they had a corner. And he looked like, just before they got a corner, Kyogo come on. And I thought he put him left back. I thought he moved Kyogo to left back at one stage. And I said to you, didn't I, Dave? I said, he's put Kyogo left back. Because he was moving everyone everywhere, weren't he, at one stage?
Yeah.
I said, I thought he's lost his fucking mind.
When I said, I think he's trying to get the sack, that doesn't look that stupid thing to say, does it really? It looked like, I think he's lost the dressing room and the players don't want to play for him. Why would he put Donny Osmond fucking left wing back. I don't get it. Like, it looks like he's trying to get himself the sack, so they have to pay him some compensation or something. I don't know. Speculating. But
Dave thinks, Stu,
What's that?
that Davis done that to get himself the sack.
no,
That's what-
I said that it's a possibility, and then I came because we talked, remember, and I've come to the conclusion it's because of the players just don't want to play for him.
No, you're entitled to your opinion, mate. Yeah, we
Yeah.
did come to that. The players have down tools. We came to that conclusion.
Here's
But
a
is there
question.
anything? Go on, mate. Go
Go
on.
on, I was going to say, here's a question for Dave, right?
Go on then.
When do you think he started to lose the dressing room? Do you think, right, it was when Christmas time, when he got rid of Keshi and Linden and shipped some other players out? Or, and this is the thing, do you think it was before that when they got rid of Alfie May?
Ooh.
Test me. There's a thing for you to
I think it's more likely just before they all, like, I don't know. Maybe the Keshi one, because Keshi was not happy after he left Blues, and when he was signing on for a Pompey, he said something about the atmosphere. Do you remember?
Yeah.
In the dressing room, and it must have been before that then.
Yeah.
Because, like, and it's been going too long. He's had a window as well. He's had a window, and we bought players. I mean, that Prisk, right? First thing he did was fall over today. When he got the ball, headed it, and fell over. Didn't he? I thought this is like, has he got the wrong football boots on or something? I don't understand. I don't understand some of the signings. I don't understand what he's doing. And usually I like to stay loyal. I like Chris Davis, but he's just not going to be there, is he? He's not going to be there at the end of the season.
The thing is, right, just to come back on that comment, like, loyalty, mate, we're Blues fans, so we're loyal to the club. I am loyal to that club. I am not loyal to a manager. And that me is it. So if this manager isn't cutting it, which I don't think he is anymore, and it pains me to say it, because we have had some good times under him, you know, and if, you know, like Nick says, if he weren't so stubborn and didn't want to die on a certain hill, then perhaps we'd have some more good times, but I just don't think it's happening, mate. It's like when you've got a job that you go to, and you know, when like a new management comes in or something happens, like in the higher echelons, and you see people go, and then you get new people in, and they're fucking wonderful for like a month or two.
Yeah.
Then they realise the actual shit show that they're fucking coming to work in, and then they lose interest and they can't be asked. For me, that's what's going on at the club, mate.
Yeah.
There's another point to add to my one of my theories that he wants to go is he keeps playing Beadle.
That's something to do with the contract, though, isn't it? I reckon.
You sure? I didn't know about that.
I reckon.
Well, that's what we surmised, isn't it? Because he can't be that deluded that he sees something completely different. And I get he he's with the players 5-6 days a week, but you can't fucking keep playing Beadle like that, can he? There's got to be a contract clause, maybe.
Yeah. Do you know what Beadle reminded me of today? You know the film Platoon, don't you? And it was only the other night and I watched it. You know the bit where the guy gets shot?
Yeah.
Exactly, Dave.
Yeah. I thought he was putting in. Look, they've scored.
I'm just like beggar's belief. I mean, I know there was spin on the ball, but even so, like you've got to be there, ain't you, mate?
Yeah. It's just a bit depressing because, like, normally, like you want to go to the last game of the season, don't you? The last away game, but I'm not even bothered about that.
Yeah, just quickly go to the comments. Ems
Go on.
is saying we can't go on questioning everyone. It takes time for success. Sorry, it will come. It will all come out in the long run. We just have to stay strong and support. And I think we do, Emza. These are just instant match reactions, and we're just trying to work out, what's gone wrong. We're trying to, have a little bit of a debate and kind of and this is what we've done for the last couple of years. But I'll get.
Yeah, I mean, if we come back after the international break and go on a winning streak until the end of the season, and we make the playoffs miraculously, then but
I can't say that.
no, nor me. Dave.
Ipswich,
Well,
Hull,
I'm a blue nose, mate. We are up
Ipswich, Hull. Write them games off straight away. Wrexham's going to be hard. It's
Yeah.
just,
hard, mate.
yeah.
For me, though, this is what we keep on getting back to, Dave and Nick, mate. For me, it's the performances, mate. We ain't seen it. I'd rather see a performance than us getting beat bloody 3-2, and we've had a go and we've peppered their goals with shots and whatever, and we've been done by the better team, rather than a lackluster, performance where you ain't seen nothing from the players of note, really. I've seen no attacking prowess. I haven't seen anything where I think they're fucking going for it and they're getting beat. Like
Did you watch it on the telly, Stu?
I watched it on iPad stream thing.
Do you know when you were watching it, did you think that the players were giving their all?
I think it was a mixture between their game plan, their physicality. I don't think we can stand up to them, mate. I just don't think we're a physical enough side. We get bullied too easily, and we lose interest, and we sort of retreat into our shells. I think is part of it as well.
Because it's sort of I sort of got the impression today. It wasn't that they couldn't be asked. It's just that they're sort of giving up.
Yeah, my dad always used to say, "Oh, it's all right, son. They're safe now. They're on their rolls, ain't they? They've got their feet in the sand." I don't think.
Just quickly, guys. While there's just over 150 people watching, and there's not many likes. So if you can just hit the like button, it just helps the channel out, helps with the algorithms apparently. So if you can just hit the like button. There's also a poll if you want to vote on the poll. Chris Davies to be sacked now before the next game. It's just a little bit of fun. So one answer is yes, you'd like to see him sacked before. So we've got an international break now. So, whether they've got someone in mind, whether they've got Thomas Frank in mind, which everyone seems to be going wild about in the comments. I mean, that would be great, wouldn't it? Hit that. Or if you think no, give them a little bit more time, hit that. If you're not sure, hit the not sure button. Just a little bit of fun. Also, while we've got people on, if you want to hit the link at the top of the comments section, once every 4 weeks, this will be given away in 2 weeks' time after the Wrexham game.
Beautiful.
The anniversary shirt, and it'll happen every 4 weeks after that if you become a member. So Graham Green has become a YouTube member, so nice one, Graham. So also flags as well will be given away. So we'll do like a shirt and a flag each month. So yeah, it's worth joining for $1.99 a month. The link's at the top of the comments, guys. Let's just run through a few of these comments. Totally agree, Nick, about Stansfield. His touch is atrocious. Yeah, well, I'm just getting frustrated with him now, mate. Like, I mean, granted, he's the only one what fucking runs around and tries to press and stuff. But then I think about the price we paid for him. I just think Fulham have had our pants down. He wasn't great in League One. He wasn't great in League One. He wasn't that goal scorer, and then he wasn't. He done okay on our relegation season when we had him on loan. But like I mentioned earlier, I think Fulham just had our pants down, and I don't think he's at number 9 what we need to get us 20 goals a season. I don't even think whether a new manager might get goals out of him.
I
You know
do.
what I mean?
I do.
Yeah, Stu seems to think that as well, and someone else mentioned it. I might be way off the mark, but I don't think he's a natural goal scorer. Is my point.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
do
I just
see where you're
don't.
coming from. He's not an out and out like goal scorer, is
What
he?
is he
He
then?
does-
What is he, Stu? What is he?
I don't.
Stick him on the left.
And this is what it comes back to again with like the conundrum of what do you do with him? Where do you put him? Where is he? Where is his best? You know where he wants to play. We know where he has played. You know, and who he's played with in his time, but it just doesn't seem to have totally materialised. But I mean, he's versatile though, isn't he? And he does give it all.
Yeah, he's versatile. He can play on the left. He can play in the 10. He can play up front. I'd just like to see him in the box. You know, he's like a poacher. Pretty, you know, like a Mitrovic. Obviously not. I mean, he's not as good as Mitrovic in the air, but just staying in that 6-yard box and just think. I don't know. I just think we're lacking. I just think we're lacking that goal scorer as well.
Do you think some of that lack is because he's having to do the work?
Yeah.
And he's getting all around the pitch and
Yeah.
from left to right and front to back. That he's not really holding.
He's got to be a bit more focused on scoring, hasn't
he? In the field.
I think he's been asked to do too much. I said this the other day.
So you don't really ever know where he's going to be, though, do you? Do you
No.
understand where I'm coming from? Like some strikers, you know, well, if you hit that ball up there, then he's going to be there.
I feel a bit sorry for him, I do. Like, I mean, you can't knock him for trying where like, he puts 100% effort in every game, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And he's been asked to do what he's been asked to do. And really, he should be focusing on making his runs and sticking the ball in the back of the net. He does more than that, doesn't he? Every single game, he runs a marathon. And not all of them do that, do they?
Tuesday said I firmly believe it's not done. It says okay. Sorry, go on, Stu.
I was going to say he does contribute with his assists as well, like to Ducks. When Ducks have scored, he's contributed. I don't know whether, like I said, mate, for me, it's questions about service and playing style and understandings and things, stuff that should be ironed out.
Yeah.
You know.
I just had a Derby fan text me, right, from work. And he thinks that they played well. And I'm thinking that they weren't all that, though, were they?
No, but I think their first.
For their standards,
because we played so poorly, like that. I mean, especially that first half, that they would have thought they played amazing because they don't have much possession. I think they had more of the possession in the first half, didn't they, Stu?
In the first half.
Yeah, they're not a great footballing side, Dave.
No.
You know, and it's kept their live. That in fact, what we'll do, guys, we'll just let me start that. We'll just go through a couple of comments. There's a couple of things I want to show you. If you're right to stay on for another 10, 15 minutes. Yeah, you're right, Dave, for another 10, 15. Carol's saying, how many times this season has he kept the same squad? About injuries, but not replacing 4 or 5 players. Yeah, I think she's going on about like the usuals, you know, like Iwata and Pike and Beadle and stuff like that. We'll go through a couple more, then I want to just share a couple of things. So Rex is saying we need to start looking at Gardner. He spends 70 million on Prisk and Kyogo, while Sheffield get Bamford on a free, and he bangs 11 goals in since December. Guys,
Big shout out, mate.
Dave, do you want to go first?
Yeah, I think that's right, man. I don't like him, man. I liked him when he was playing for us. I don't like the fact that as soon as he could, he dropped and went. Is it the Albion he went to? I just think he's a Villa fan, isn't he? I don't know. I just don't think he's any good. He's made that job for himself, hasn't he? He hasn't
Go on.
Yeah, but talk about the recruitment. Never doesn't matter about whether he left to go to Albion or he's about
Yeah.
the recruitment. Rex is going on about like the recruitment. You know, Rex has said he spends 17 million on Prisk and Kyogo, which is a very good point. While Sheffield, I mean, we can mention other signings have made. While Sheffield United get Bamford on a free, and he bangs in 11 goals since December.
Because his transfer policy seems to be, let's go and have a look abroad. Whereas everybody who's got a brain seems to buy from the championship, championship players, don't they?
Yeah. I'd like to add to that, Dave. Like what they said when they got Prescott in is he's one for the future, and it's not what we've needed right now, though, is it? Do you know what I mean? Where Sheffield have got him in because it's what they need now, and he can do a job for them now.
Yeah, but I'll back to you, Stu. When we was in this January transfer window, we was in and around the top 6, and they said we're going to invest and go for top 6. So I get the Prisk thing, like Prisk. I thought, maybe like it's for the future, but he threw him straight in, and he's what. I don't know, mate. I think the recruitment stands a lot.
It's not what we needed now.
Yeah,
was it?
yeah.
I mean, you've let Dykes go. We had Kyogo, who has been misfiring pretty much all season. Bless him. Not through want of effort really, but he's been misfiring. So to bring in another player who's young, unproven in the championship and stuff, looking at it now, I think we should have been looking for that elusive proven goal scorer who's going to get us 10, 15 goals in from that period, from Christmas up until the end of the season. So did the club miss a trick there again? It's
it's on Gardner then, isn't it?
Yeah.
Gardner, surely.
People stick up in that, don't they?
They say it's run by Chris as well, though, don't they? So I don't know, but really the only striker who we've had is Stano and Marvin. It's the only pairing we've had, really, isn't it? And they've not really. I wouldn't say they've really been on the field that much together to get like a proper understanding and a proper partnership going. And the team doesn't really play to that. I don't know.
Do you think this season's been too big for Davis? Because he seemed to be okay in the Division 1, didn't he? But this season he's had too much to think about, hasn't he? And he hasn't changed much. And they just seem to be making rash decisions. They don't seem very well thought about, do they? So I agree with that bloke. I think it's down to Gardner.
Yeah, I think it's a bit of everything I do. A nice one, Bobby. Bobby's come a new Chatting Blues member, so you're going for the draw as well, Bobby. Same as Graham. Do it after the thingy game, Wrexham game.
Dave, I've got 3% battery on my phone. So if I go, I'll go.
Yeah. No worries. Do you want to go now then, and I'll save you?
Yeah. Sound. Stu, nice one, mate. Dave, it wasn't a bad day, was it? Really, it wasn't a bad day. It was all right.
The sun's been out, Dave.
But the football, as soon as we got there.
Yeah.
Keep on, everyone.
Nice
Up
one,
the Blues. See you later.
Cheers, Dave. Yeah, we had a good crack. I mean, it was just a game. So, okay, let me just start that. Where are we on the comments? We're 15 minutes behind. Let me just go through. Okay, let me just share this, Stu, see what you think of all this palaver. Okay, so I started a few things on the way home when I was on Twitter. Let me have a quick look. Okay. Let's enlarge this. How do we enlarge this? Oh, on it. Okay, let's listen to Chris Davis. It's only a short clip, guys, so bear with us. I think it's 30 seconds long. Let's see what he's got to say.
Well below, we deserved nothing from the game. That's what we got. I thought first half we were miles off it. We weren't competitive enough. We had a softness to us. We weren't brave enough on the ball, and we were looking like we were going to go in at half-time 0-0, which would have been put us in a much better position to come out better in the second half, but to concede just before half-time was the worst possible time. So yeah, it was really, really below our expectations first half, nowhere near it. And then second half we did improve a lot in terms of getting hold of the ball, getting up to their box, dominating possession. We had a lot of that without real cutting edge, but we certainly improved a lot from where we were in the first half. But again, scoring and creating chances away from home has been a big challenge for us. We tried to use set pieces, but we couldn't quite use them effectively. So disappointing all round. Assessment.
Yeah, a bit of the same old fucking crap, really. It's like listening to a broken record, man. There's a few things I did. A few comments I thought, yeah, that's spot on. I mean, I obviously bookmarked the thing where we've talked a little bit about this Eustace. It's slipping in. First half we played no fear football. Just for people what don't know, Eustace. So Stephen, who put the comment, said Eustace with a massive shot at Birmingham owners there. We played no fear football today. John Eustace was sacked because Birmingham wanted a manager with no fear style. So fair play to John Eustace. Brummy Joe said that was the last straw. I like CD, but he is not at the level currently to take us forward. I do not accept that our aim should be to not go down. It's an excuse, time for a change. Ryan Deeney, who sometimes goes on the Two Dicks podcast, the Keep Right On podcast, I think it's from Blues Breakdown, quite knows his football. Even at our worst this season, you knew what we were looking to do. We just didn't do it very well, which me and Shoes talked about, kind of like the 4-2-3-1 system, and moving it quicker, getting it forward. We kind of knew how it looks when it works. That's what he's saying. The shape changed, the structure changed, the change of principles, reminiscent of Leeds under Rooney. Yeah, man. And we'll couple more. Then we'll get to Stu on it. So Ryan again saying, I've defended us a lot this season, which he has. This is indefensible, cowardly performance, and it feels like cowardly directive. Change is needed at half time, but suspect the story is already written. We'll see in the end. Stu, any thoughts on what I've read out so far?
I think it's a lot of what everyone's sort of like seeing and feeling.
Yeah.
I think the subs were ready to come on about 5 or 6 minutes before they did.
Yeah, probably, mate.
I think they was ready for about 55. From about 55 minutes, I think they came on about 60 thereabouts.
Yeah.
Could argue that they come on sooner. You could argue make changes for the last 45. We just seem to cover it week after week, don't we? And we're saying the same old things. Why is he bringing Kyogo on with bloody 6 minutes to go or something and a bit of stoppage time?
Yeah, there is one as well from Chris Scudder, Stu. Yeah. I mean, we have covered it a lot. His substitutions were shocking today, mate. Fuck, I mean, I've kind of like been on the fence with his substitutions up until the last week. But so Chris Scudder said, pretty clear Chris Davis is not getting the best out of this squad with the depth. Dreadful again. No creativity, no improvement, despite the further big spend. Obviously, he's going on about the January. disconnect between recruitment and coaching, bench stacked with expensive non-starters, something not right and has to give.
Yeah, mate. I mean, you know, you bring Vicente in, don't you? And you think, fucking hell, you know, he looks showreel, looks tasty. First couple of performances looks great. You know, performance at Norwich, brilliant.
Yeah.
You know, and the next fucking thing, he's sat on the bench.
Sat on the bench, yeah.
Sat on the bench
Yeah.
for 60 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, I ain't the manager, but you do what you want, but he just looks odd. And then you've got Dimmy coming on for a second half of a game, and then he plays the first half of the next game, and you know,
yeah.
Continuity, some of it as well, mate, isn't it? You know,
yeah,
continuity.
Yeah.
You look at the great teams of the past. You knew where the linchpins were. You know, in midfield, in attack. You know, the spine of a team. And we ain't got it, mate. We ain't even got a fucking spine at the moment, I don't think.
Yeah.
And that's disappointing. Like we say,
Yeah.
mate, the results, they say take care of themselves, don't they? But the performances just been, you're watching it and I'm just thinking, nah, we're just getting worse and worse as the weeks are going on now.
Yeah.
So,
Definitely right.
question to you then, Nick, in or out?
Yeah, man. Far away.
Sack him tonight or?
Like I wouldn't want to sack him and then employ Ben Petty, his assistant manager for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
If they've got someone in mind or they've got someone that, you know, they're going through candidates and they're saying they're looking at Thomas Frank, fucking fingers crossed, and they're having talks with him, but it's not getting any further at this point. But they've got a manager what could get a little bit out of them for these last few games. Then yeah, I'd sack him now. So I'd sack him now, I suppose. Yeah. But I suppose I fit in that not sure category. But like, it's not that I want him to go. Someone, I mean that yes, he's getting really high now. I think it's on 80% wanting him sacked tonight before the next game. 20% no. John saying about Cruncher.
No, go on. What's John
Oh,
saying?
yeah. John saying this AI we use ain't worth a wank. Yeah, this is a big thing about the AI thing, man. Yeah, in my opinion, sign a supposed physical player. Yeah, I mean this could go back to and I don't want to keep going about Priest, mate, but I think this is going to come back to haunt us. This Priest thing, like the Kyogo thing. I've just got a feeling, man. You know, sign a supposed physical player in a European league, drop him into the Championship, and he's a pussycat. Yeah. It's a fucking really good point.
They're used to playing like different styles, aren't they? Really, and fitting into different teams. It is a very, it's a very unique league, the Championship, isn't it? I mean, you know, you can. I think you can take some players and drop them into a Premier League team, and it's not too different for them with like style and play and things like that. But the Championship, I think it takes more getting used to. And this is it, mate. This is where other teams have like got one up on us, isn't they? They've recruited the players that will do a job for them in this league, and I think we're kind of not done that enough. I don't think we've got enough like physicality, experience for what we needed this year. And I think we're kind of like we're paying for it now. I think.
Yeah. No, I totally agree, man. Yeah, it's not choose, man. Imagine playing Beadle almost every single game. Fucking nuts, man. Is Gardner signing players? Is Gardner signing? You're right, Paul. Is Gardner signing players? Are they Davis is signing or the board signing? I think they are all interconnected through AI, and then AI splits these. If they want a right winger what can cut inside on his left foot, for instance, and has got X amount of assists, they put it through an AI machine, and then a few names come out, and then they take them names to Chris Davis, and then it's narrowed down to a player, which John mentioned about the AI thing, you know, and bringing players from abroad and dropping them in the Championship's a massive fucking gamble, man. And I don't think it's going to work myself, this AI thing. You, Stu, or
Talking
you
about
can't
it last
work
week,
it,
weren't
or-
we, mate? You know, what's you know, AI only gets you so far, don't it? And it's still a relatively new thing. You know,
Yeah.
AI will tell you so much, but an experienced manager will see something in a player. He'll see that humanity. How does that player fit in with the team? Fit in with the players that we've got? You know, that's why they go after players, don't they? Because like a good manager will go, I want that person, because that person I can see coming into my team, playing a certain role, playing in a certain way. It'll complement the way in which we play, or it'll fill a gap in the play that we haven't got, and it will be an addition to the team.
Yeah.
I don't really. Now I'm looking at why the hell have we got some of these players in if we're not letting them play as it seems to their strengths. You know, Kai Wagner came in, didn't he? Great. Everyone was like, "Oh, bloody hell, we found a bit of gold here. Where did they get this guy from?" People were going, "Oh, MLS." You know, but he was, you know, he was great.
Yeah.
The assist king, but he ain't playing in that role anymore, is he? He's not. He hasn't been getting forward. He hasn't been getting the crosses in. You know.
Do you think that's down to his injury, Stu? Because he was playing the last few games with a shoulder injury, wasn't he? Because I'm hoping Kai Wagner of his first 2 or 3 games, I'm hoping that's the Kai Wagner we've signed, not the one we've seen since he took that injury.
I think it will be the player that we signed if that's brought through. But if it's not brought through and utilised, as you know, you try and utilise people within any team. I think, you know, that's what they're there to manage, aren't they? You know, it's what managers do. Whatever industry, you've got your people, and you're trying to bring the best out of them.
Yeah.
And you might have your members of staff who you want get gone and who don't, you know, particularly fit in with the team or the team ethic or whatever. But if what you've got left is a disgruntled workplace, is it working? I don't know, mate.
Yeah. No, it's fucking true. So I was just reading a couple of the comments then. Someone wants to come on.
Yeah. Get someone else on.
Yeah, any questions for me, Stu?
Thoughts, man.
Yeah, man. Any questions for me, Stu? Get them in the comments, guys. We'll run through some of these comments now. Davis describes a different match. Yeah, he does, mate. So we're up to where Davis was talking. Sorry, mate. Go on.
Couple of questions for you then. So, how long into the match today, when you were studying there, because you went today, how far in was you like, this isn't good?
About 5 or 6 minutes.
Yeah.
Literally, I was moaning after 5 or 6 minutes. I could see it wasn't going to work.
Yeah.
The players didn't know what they was doing. It was a new system. They just looked all over the shop. I was quite surprised that Derby didn't really take. You know, they should have fucking capitalised on how poor it was. You know, I know they had the vast majority of the play, but
and was this kind of like throughout the where the Blues fans were sitting? Do you think? Do you kind of like get a feeling that this was like obviously it's not just you, but like, is it like more of a widespread thing, atmosphere feeling across the fans there today?
Yeah, it's a good point, Stu. So the atmosphere was good at the start. Even though I was seeing troubles on the pitch, the fans were getting behind the team. I'm talking like first 10, 15 minutes. It weren't too bad
Yeah, I could hear
considering
the
how
Blue
good the
Nose.
atmosphere. Pardon?
I could hear the Blue Noses like for the
Yeah,
first
yeah.
thing.
Yeah, really good. On the pitch, I was thinking like I was clocking things like how low our front line was. It was in our own half. There was no press. The back three looked all over the shop. Obviously, Donny Osman left wing back was all over the gaff. So, and then kind of like, so I missed the goal again. I went to the toilet, missed the goal, but I seen it on the screen as I walked back up.
Yeah.
And everyone was saying it was Beadle's fault, but I seen it back, and I'm not 100% sure you can put it on Beadle, but definitely there was a free header, what shouldn't have been a header from what I've seen on the screen. So I haven't even seen the goal back. Definitely someone we should.
If you want.
Yeah, we'll get it up, man. We'll get it up before
Was
we
it-
finish off.
was
But
it-
what I can remember, Stu, is
Yeah, go
your man got up. It's Ryan Brewster's only a small player as well. He don't score many headers. I think it might have been Panzo.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah, didn't get up with him. Beadle probably could have done better. And then kind of like half time comes, and there's a couple of guys in front of us, and me and Dave was talking to them, and I was just saying, this is a nightmare about the format. They was talking about the formation and players being played out of position and stuff like that. And kind of as the second half went on, it started to get a little bit toxic then. So everyone was singing sideways and backwards.
That was on about 55 minutes, weren't it?
Yeah.
You could really hear that, mate. I swear you could proper hear that.
Question for Stu from Blue Shadow. Do you think the atmosphere at home will become non-existent if they choose to keep CD?
Mate, there's a lot being said about the atmosphere this season, really, isn't there? Like, I ain't found it too bad, like, but you know, I remember better atmospheres, you know, and there's times where it's great, isn't it? You know, Leeds, Newcastle. For me, that 5-4, or when we lost 4-5 against Leeds, 2019 was mad.
Oh, brilliant! That was, yeah.
Yeah. I think if they keep him, and depending on what changes they make during the summer recruitment wise, I think it's, you know, we go into next season a clean slate and he'll be given that. But I think like atmosphere wise and whether like the fans start getting on his case, he won't get given much grace, shall we say.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
I just want to come in on this question from Emza. I've lost it now. So Emza put Chris would have been signed by someone else if we hadn't had him. We're trying to develop players. That's a good thing, which it is, and that's how big clubs work. My point on Priest, Emza, and to everyone else really, and is like I don't see a good player in him at all. I don't see. Granted, he's young. He doesn't look, for me, he just doesn't look like a footballer. Not that makes any difference, you know. I think he's come from a very weak league. I think it's a massive gamble. We've paid a big price for him. And I don't like what I've seen so far. And yes, we're going to get man at the ground on in a minute as well, my mate Shah. So, like, I just, this is my personal opinion, Emza. I don't think Chris is going to work out, mate. I think it's going to be a boober. But, you know, I'd be happily proved wrong. I really would, man.
My point on that is other clubs do it differently, though, don't they? They'll bring a player in
loan him out and that.
Exactly. They'll get him in, loan him out straight away, go and learn some football there. We've got him in. He's one to develop, and we're throwing him straight in.
Oh, there he is.
Who was that?
Yeah, you're right, Stu. Shay, how are you, mate?
How are you? Right.
Yeah. So we've covered a lot of ground, really. We don't really we've got going on too much about the match. It was a shambles. We were both there together. Talk to me a little bit about how you feel in terms of. I mean, you've been to pretty much every home and away game this season, if not every one. I think you might have missed one out of the whole.
I've missed one. Yeah, I missed one. Yeah. Other than that, I've been to every one. Yeah.
And then last season as well was the same, wasn't it? And the season before that, even.
Every season's the same. Yeah. Do you know what? I think someone touched on it earlier on in the stream. Today, to me, it just felt like the players didn't want to play for Davis no more. It just felt like from the first whistle, couldn't string a pass together. And it just felt like it was like he's already lost his job. It was like they didn't want to play for him no more. And they just weren't asked. Obviously, you as fans seeing that, there's only going to be one reaction, isn't there?
Yeah.
Obviously, at the full-time whistle today, obviously, it was just booze and that all round. So, like I was saying, it was like the players don't want to play for him no more. And it comes to a point where you've got to say to yourself, all right, he did well last season, but I think he's come to the end of his tether now.
Yeah.
And I think you need to just cut ties, whether you cut ties now in the international break. To me, personally, I think they're going to cut ties. I think they'll leave it till the end of the season. But I can understand if people want him in, a new manager in the international break now, so he's got till the end of the season with the players, blah, blah, blah. But I think they'll leave it till the end of the season myself.
Yeah, well, I mean, Stu, you got any questions for Shay?
Well, I'm in the boat of get rid of him now, Shay, and get someone else in for the rest of the season. I just think that the longer he's there, the more damage he's going to do. But what I was going to ask you, and this goes for you as well, Nick, how long was, because I've heard some bits that when the final whistle's gone, CD didn't hang around long.
I heard
went off down the tunnel.
Went straight down the tunnel, I heard as well. Yeah, basically just went straight down the tunnel. Yeah, it's there's two things for me. Like, one, the players just seemed like he didn't want to play for him. And at the end, I know you've just lost, but if you can't even come and acknowledge the support that's backed you, not even just for today, for the whole of the season, it kind of says a lot about what, to me, it just basically says, like, you've basically done all you can do now. Basically, I've lost my job, and that's the end of the story, kind of thing.
Yeah, I think that's a better point in it, yeah. I didn't even know about him going down the tunnel.
Yeah, he stormed straight down the tunnel, he did.
Okay, it's news to me. I mean, that's kind of a bit telling in itself, I think. It's first time I've known him
it's like when he's come out in his press conference as well and said, he said, obviously, he's knew all along something along the lines of something about his job anyway, his future at the club. Like, why has he left that comment specifically till after today's game when he could have said that through the whole of the season?
Yeah.
I mean, I watched his pre-match interview the other night, and I was just like, I'm not really convinced. You know, they're kind of like saying to you, Chris, it's about being like a must-win game, and he was just kind of like, yeah, it's a must-win game. Like, we've got no fucking chance of winning it.
But the only thing that worried me was about obviously whether Wagner's in a fit state to make any sort of decision, really. But surely surely there's other people in the club that can make the decision. If obviously no one knew this was going to happen, so surely someone in the clubs has to make the decision to say, "Hang on a minute here, something's fucking not right." So you've just basically, to me today, just seemed like it was the final straw sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, like, it is a good point about Wagner. Like, you know, is he in a fit enough condition to make any decision? But I'm sure it would be passed down, like Shay said, to someone else to make the call. But just looking at the poll actually, so I put a poll up saying Chris Davis to be sacked now before the next game. So
Yeah.
you could either answer yes, no, or not sure. So 86% of people have voted yes, get rid of him now. 14% have voted no. Where would you stand in that, mate? You said get rid of him now, haven't you? Didn't you?
So I think after today, you've not really got any choice. Yeah, you've got to really. I think it's if you're gonna do it, it's the ideal time to do it now. While there's an international break, I'd say.
Yeah.
There's no good leaving it after this international break because there's no other time to do it. You ain't got another international break. This is the only one now till the end of the season. So if you're gonna do it, you got to do it, and whoever comes in, there's a couple of names floating about, but there's only one person I would take personally. But it's up to what the club want, don't they?
Who would you take, mate?
I'll take Thomas Frank in a heartbeat straight away.
Stu, who would you take if we could have
told you,
our
mate, I said before, I'd take any fucker. Right now, I'd let them sort it out amongst themselves, mate, to be fair. Because I just think it's killing them. I do.
I think the two names what are kind of banding around from what I've seen who people would like, and I'd take either of them really, is Carrick and Thomas Frank.
The only thing you've got to think about Carrick is though, does he get offered the Man United job?
They should give it to him. I don't think they
should
will.
give it to him, yeah. But
if they don't, then I'd get him in the summer. But I'd get rid of Davies now before it does even more damage to the players and that. Personally.
Yeah. Right, we'll go through these last few comments, guys, and then we'll finish off because we've been going for hour 20 now. So we'll go through these last comments. Bobby's saying, before today, I was relatively happy. The board's open expectations haven't helped the situation and have put pressure around the team. When we had another new squad for the league, today was bad. Blue Shallow saying, question to all of us is they clearly don't want to play for him on the pitch. So what do you think they do in training? Yeah, well, I suppose they just go through the motions. If they're I mean, they worked on that shape throughout the week, that three at the back with the wing backs, and it just didn't. You know, I wanted to see a change in formation, but not. You know what? I'd have gone for a 4-3-3 myself. Put Laird right back, either Robinson or Panzo left back, Clara and maybe Newman, and then get Doyle in. I don't know. I wouldn't have played three at the back with wing backs.
Mate, but what I also can't understand is I don't understand like what it's like a Watter and Piker undroppable. No matter what starting lineup, just throughout the whole of the season, he's either got to start a Watter or he's got to start Pike. Today, apart from Osman, all the other new signings was on the bench.
Yeah, you're right, man. But so, I mean, Keith's saying get Thomas Frank in soon because you go elsewhere. Chelsea manager's going to get sacked tonight. Chelsea have got Everton, isn't they?
Yeah, they're losing at the minute. They're losing.
Oh, fucking hell, man. So that's Villa. Villa are going to get top 5 as well, which is just the icing on the cake for me. Lincoln manager is a far better manager than Davies.
Yeah, but obviously it's back to League One again. Davies did it in League One, so if you're going to go back to League One again, you're just going to go back to the same thing that we've got this season, ain't you?
Yeah.
You need a manager that's been proven in this division. Like, there's no other question, really.
Yeah, you do. You do, or a good Premier League manager like Frank or Carrick, who's done it in the. I mean, there's a shout for. I'm not a massive fan of him, Scott Parker.
No, not for me.
I'm a bit.
He's
I think I'd rather have Frank than Parker personally.
Danny Rowell, all right to put there. Danny Rowell. It's not a bad shout, you know. Yeah.
I seen a thing earlier about them trying to get Lee Carsley, but I can't see that happening either.
Yeah, I don't know about Carsley. I'm sure he don't want the job. I've heard somewhere he doesn't want the job, you know, Stu.
I was just about to
Why
mention
would you,
Lee Carsley.
I know,
I've heard his name's floating about somewhere. I have. Obviously, if we went for Lee Carsley, though, it'd kind of make a little bit of sense because obviously he's played at the club and obviously, but I don't really know his situation if he wants any full-time other jobs or what.
I think he'd be quite happy just coaching the England under 21s, to be fair. But you never know, do you? But that's just me. I'm like, I can't really see him coming.
Blue Shadows. Well, mate, sorry.
I think he was in with the discussions the last time, weren't he?
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was, mate. So we'll go through these last ones, and we'll finish off. Guys, come starving. So Blue Shadow, it's been great. It's been great tonight, Nick. Night to Stu and Shay. Had a great bunch of callers. Night, Blue Noses and Keith Wright. Yeah, thanks ever so much, Blue Shadow, and for ringing in and gifting the memberships as well. I think it went to Emia Games, didn't it? So, and everyone what's phoned in and liked, commented. If you haven't hit the like button, just hit the like button, guys. It's absolutely free. I've also mentioned about the join button as well. If you want to be in for a chance for the 150th anniversary shirts, so that's just to back up what Stu said about we approach Carsley around the Christmas time. And then to say as Carsley plays same style, I wouldn't be surprised if we did. Bobby, have you watched any of Lincoln games? I mean, I haven't watched Lincoln, I've got to be honest. I know they're doing amazingly well. Just scan through these last ones. What's Trev saying? Danny Rowell, yeah. So and we'll just have a quick so it's still on 86 to get rid of Davis now, and 14% saying no. So and he's lost the away fans, unfortunately. So I think it's curtains for him, like Shay said. You know, when he's travelled up and down the country this for the vast majority of the last 6-7 years, I think. But you know, and you've seen this before, Shay, kind of like when it at Leeds at Rooney, when it happened with Rooney.
Well, it's like the same thing happened against Leeds, and you just knew once that thing happened at Leeds, you just know that was Rooney's last game, and it was. He got the sack, didn't he, on the Monday morning or something like that. I think, to be fair, it wouldn't surprise me if we hear an announcement on Monday morning to say that Davis has been sacked. Because you've only got 2 weeks, ain't you? Obviously, you're gonna need at least that for a new manager to come in, see what he's got to work with, and then obviously you got another game, ain't you? Not this Saturday coming, but the Saturday after.
Yeah.
But it's the Friday, ain't it? Sorry, because it's Easter.
Easter, yeah.
But you've got 2 games. You got a game on the Friday and you got a game on the Monday. So we'll have to see what happens. But after today, I can't see Davis being there much longer.
No, mate.
Question,
yes, mate.
If he does go, are you going to do like an impromptu podcast?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. We'll jump on.
If not, man, it's going to be like 2 weeks without doing this.
Yeah. We'll do something over the international break anyway, maybe, Stu.
Okay.
If you fancy it.
Yeah, I'm bad. You know me. I'm all good.
Yeah, we'll do something over the international break, guys. It's a long 2 weeks, man. I can't stand these international breaks. I know it's not great at the moment on pitch and stuff, but it's still horrible without football.
Mate,
So yeah, we'll leave it there
horrible.
then.
I was going to say it's been horrible not having a midweek game.
Yeah, it's not the best. It's not the best, mate. So yeah, Stu, really appreciate it again for coming on, mate.
Jay.
See you later, mate.
Shane, nice one, mate.
yourself,
Please
lad.
do, brother. Keep right on, everyone.
Keep
Thanks
right
ever so
on,
much.
tra.
Yeah, tra.